Happy holidays, Tree Devas! Today I'm Tamika Schilbe, and this is Carolyn Burke.
Hi.
And each year, we do a practice where we review where we've been the year before as a way to step into the new year in a little bit more of a conscious way, and also to honor the last year that we've been alive. So we've been doing that. We started to do that, and then at the same time, we were like, what are we going to put out for our year-end message to all of you that, trust us with your inbox and subscribe? So we'd like to put out a message together at the end of the year. And we said, let's do it on camera. Let's do our year-end review on camera and see how that goes. And so this is something new that we're trying out. And just so that you know, we have talked about the questions a little bit, so it's not totally spontaneous, but I actually don't know the answer to all of her questions, and she doesn't know the answer to all of mine, so it's a little bit of a surprise, but it's also slightly scripted. So that's what we're going to do today. Thank you for being part of our tribe.
Thank you.
Carolyn, do you want to say anything about that?
I'm going to ask you a question to start. So, what's something new or different that you did for yourself in 2016?
New or different? So, okay, there was a lot different and a lot new in 2016. But I would say something that was actually nurturing that I chose to do for myself was committing to a home practice. And I've been practicing yoga and meditation for 20 years. It's been almost 20 years, but I haven't had a dedicated practice, like a daily practice. So what I've been doing each morning is getting up and doing some kind of practice, whether it's a little bit of meditation, asana. Usually it's a combination of the two. And with the exception of a few times over the last year, and probably I started in 2015, but I've been able to do that pretty consistently. So amazing. I would say that's mine.
And what are some of the obstacles that you had in committing to your practice, and how did you overcome those?
Guilt would be the biggest one. And so now that running DevaTree, I'm on the Pacific Coast and you are in Ontario, you've started work before me. So when I have a routine where I walk my dogs every morning and spend some time in nature each day. So it was pretty hard because I felt like first I wasn't getting to you guys, you and the rest of the DevaTree team quick enough in the mornings. And then the other thing was the dogs, and I would say even worse because they're like waiting and it's the highlight of their whole day for us to hike. So that would be guilt. I mean, guilt, and also feeling like I owe it to other people or other beings, my animals to not do that for myself. But the funny thing is that what I realized is that they just wait. So now at this point, if I got up and got right out there, they'd be like, what are you doing? Why aren't you going to get on your mat first? So I just had to get through that and come to terms with that myself, and that's it. Yeah.
That sounds like a new routine developed even for the dogs.
Yes,
yeah,
yes. And I just had to be like, no, I'm a priority. And even if it's for half an hour in the day, I have this priority as me. So that would be mine. And how about you, Carolyn? What's something new or different that you did for yourself in 2016?
It's kind of new, but kind of not. But it's different for sure. So in 2016, I decided to sign up for a pottery class. And I have done pottery before, but I really was scared of learning to use the wheel, where it goes around like really fast and you're holding it. So I decided that was something, and I'd only just dabbled in it. Like I knew a little bit about pottery, but not a lot. So I was like, you know what? I really want to do this for myself. So I signed up for weekly classes and learned, or I'm still learning because it's not that simple, how to throw a pot on the wheel. And so that was my way to feel grounded and centered, because it was something that I was giving myself. And yeah. And I'd say the challenge for me was sticking to it when I felt like other things were drawing my attention. So one day a week, it's just a morning, but I would be like, oh my gosh, I got to get this done for work, and I'm going to let this person down. I'm going to disappoint the team. And it felt like I had to be like, no, this is a priority for you. And if you don't do this, the rest of your week isn't going to go so well. So it was really recognizing that it was a real outlet for me, like a creative outlet, and also a way to stay centered and grounded. So something for me about touching and creating with my hands helped me to be like, those days when I was like, nope, I got to stay home and finish this work, I'm not going to go. I would be like, how are you going to feel at 2 days from now if you haven't done this? So that was one way that I kind of dealt with the obstacle. The other thing is I write sticky notes to myself. This is on my computer.
This says go to pottery?
Yeah, literally.
This one, don't forget.
Yeah, this says do yoga and meditate this morning. But that I would just write a note the night before and stick it somewhere to remind me. Just almost like an accountability thing.
Yeah, I love that. And it's amazing to just witness your process and how it fills you up. Pottery's in your blood, really. You got clay in your veins.
I sure do.
That's so good. And you know what I want to say? I'll just interject this in when you showed the note, because one of the things you and I have both been doing this year with each other on an overwhelm, because both of us talked about, well, I have to do stuff for other people instead of doing something for myself.
Yeah.
Is that we've been doing this day review. So if we're speaking at the end of the evening, and I have the pleasure of talking to Jyotima at the end of the evening, and we're feeling overwhelmed because of the speed of things, because of not getting everything done, we'll be like, what happened today and what did you get done? And so then we start to list off some of the things that we did do, but it might not just be things we did. It could also be, someone that we reached out to, or someone that we interacted with, or something we did for ourselves, or a process that we were in that actually took quite a bit of energy, and how did we expect to then also move other mountains at the same time? So that's been a cool practice. I just wanted to interject that in when you showed the notes.
Oh my gosh, and it's been so helpful for me too, because it almost feels like, oh, today was amazing. Like, I forgot what happened 6 hours ago. Like, holy cow, amazing things happen every day.
And that's also part of the surrendering, isn't it? For both of us, I think, in terms of surrendering to what actually took priority, even though we had a list. Whatever came forward was really needed to happen.
Yeah.
So that's good. Okay, I think it's my turn.
Yeah.
What is ugly wrapping paper? What is the best gift that you got in 2016 that had ugly, disgusting wrapping paper on it?
Oh my gosh.
You might have to explain what we mean by that.
So it didn't come in the best form, or it was challenging, or it was difficult, but in the end it had this amazing gift underneath the wrapping paper. So for me this year, I would say I had an experience with a friend, and somebody I actually was really close to, and the relationship was ending, and this person did not want to talk about it and didn't want to kind of work towards any resolution. So there was actually no conversation. It just kind of was, boom, this is done. And that was really devastating for me. I was really sad. I was really hurt. And it took me a long time to process it, because I didn't feel like I had an avenue. Like, I didn't feel like there was any opening to say, what about this? Like, maybe we misunderstood each other, that kind of thing. So the gift in that situation, as painful as it was, for me, was really having to let go that I couldn't, there was nothing more I could do. And it also, what I noticed since that was that there's been more of a clarity around boundaries. So, like who I spend my time with and how I spend my time. And even this acknowledgement of, like, to me, the boundaries is also kind of like, well, I'm worthy of being with people who respect or honor me.
Ah! No, I think a lot of people can probably relate to that, because anytime a relationship ends, I mean, it creates a lot of feelings. Yeah. So, yeah, that's empowering. That's that shiny gift underneath.
Thank you for letting me talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And what about for you? What was the best gift that came in ugly wrapping paper in 2016?
Now I have a whole bunch in my mind. I guess it was some gross wrapping paper in 2016. But when we were talking before, you had said to me, Carolyn, oh, it was the health challenge. And I think that was hardest for other people, but I did talk a lot about that to my list.
That's like truthakes.com list.
Oh, yeah.
So which means like a newsletter.
Yeah, my newsletter. I spoke, so I won't get into that. But I also think that I spoke about that so fast because I've had pretty significant health challenges since I was 4 years old. I mean, that's the first time I remember being rushed to the hospital. And so I think I've always felt like my health is not just my physical health, it's also my spiritual, environmental health, my emotional health, my mental health. So not that it wasn't a big deal, because I realized how important the body is and looking after our bodies, and it didn't feel like the end of the world. In fact, it felt like a wake-up call. So I guess I am kind of talking about that one, but I won't go into that in dramatic detail. But I did have pretty significant health stuff come up this year. But I still feel vital and excited. I think what was worse for me actually this year was not having a place to live. So the house that I had been renting here on Salt Spring Island had sold, and I knew that could have happened, but it didn't look like it was going to happen, and then it happened very quickly after I moved in. So there was a housing crisis on the island, and for a couple of months there wasn't even places to look at, let alone having 2 dogs. So the competition for places was pretty high, and that was an ugly wrapping paper for me. And I would say the gift in that is when I look back, I realize how much I put myself through mentally, how much worry and anxiety and stress. And, I had a lot of moments where I was trusting. I would say most of the time I was trusting, but when I wasn't trusting, it was gnarly. It was messy when I wasn't. But I did write out my list and ask the land, where do you want me to be? And it ended up working out really well, better actually than I could have imagined. But again, that was one gift and so it reminds me a little bit of what you said around your friend, that the relationship ended, and that surrender of just, okay, there's nothing else I can do here. I can't force a home to be available. I have to just let go. And so surrender was the name of that game for me too. Yeah.
Amazing. Wow, 2016's had a lot, hasn't it?
It has had a lot. Wholesome. Yeah.
Okay, so I have another question.
Yeah.
What gift do you want to give this world in 2017? It's that time of year of gifts, right?
Yeah, gifts. Mm-hmm. Gifts. So I'm going again. Okay.
Well, because I already answered
what
that
gift?
Last one.
Yeah, okay, I know. I feel like what I'm here to give the world is truth and peace at the same time. So helping people to speak their truth and actually look at the truth of what's going on both in themselves, let's say, helping them do that in a gentle way, in a loving way, and also what's going on in the world around us. And then also finding a centeredness in, because meditation is really my passion right now, and well, it has been for a long time, but it's front and center right now, and I feel like that's helping me know my own truth better. And so being able to share some of those practices with other people. Like right now, as you guys are watching this or listening to this, we could all just separate our jaw a little bit.
Can I do it with you? Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't even have to do it with your mouth open like that. You can do it like without showing that. Like you just separate it at the back too. But you can open your jaw. I mean, that's a good way to relax your jaw, is to stretch it. But you can open your jaw, separate your jaw, and then relax your tongue. And then so that starts at the throat chakra where we speak our truth. And then you can feel a connection to something greater. Something, let's say, the center of the universe, the galactic heart. You can feel that connection when you do that. Sometimes we talk about chakras like opening up or aligning your chakras. Well, this would be like throat, third eye, and crown chakra, just in doing that one thing. And it can create some peace. So you can do that anytime you're stressed over the holidays. Nobody needs to know. Just separate your jaw, relax your tongue. That's the gift that I have.
Wow, I already feel very relaxed.
What about you, Jyoti? What gifts do you want to give this world in 2017?
You know, it might sound simple, but for me, it's all about love. And about, if nothing else in this world, we all need to feel love and to give love. And that just feels like a real mission for me right now, is to help people to kind of clear away all the crap. And like you said, with what's going on in the world right now, the remedy for me is love, and whatever that means. So, you know, if it means just reaching out to somebody that you were worried about, or a glance, or helping your neighbor, or whatever it is, just coming back to love is one of the things that I really want to focus on in 2017 for myself and for others. And just, you know, when I think about our trainings and our students coming together, that for them to be able to love themselves so that they can also do the same. And that's the same for me. It's always work to say, okay, right, I got to love myself through the pain, through the difficulties, through the challenges, not beat myself up, and then I have more of a well filled up that I can give to others, right? So that's what I'd like to share.
I love that. And you know what? That is you. You do that so honestly, naturally. That's authentically you. I absolutely love that gift. You constantly give that. You're amazing.
Thank you.
So, and you guys are amazing too. Thank you for watching this and watching our process. It's so much fun to be able to do something different and just to share with you guys. And we wish you so much love this holiday season, so much peace, and to be that love for someone else, and also to be that truth and to be you.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays and namaste.
Namaste.